Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Creg Effs, and I hope I pronounced your name right.
Yes,
How
you.
are you doing?
I'm good. I'm awesome. I'm giving God thanks for life. And yes, you did pronounce my name correctly.
Wow, so let me tell the audience a little bit about you. You are a highly accomplished and dedicated Christian man born in Kingston, Jamaica. What I also learned was you have so many projects and works, and you did poetry. You published two anthologies, namely Once, Twice, Three Times a Charm, and So Many Things Mean Love. That sounds beautiful. You have to tell us about that. And your most recent book is called It Begins in the Mind, Empower Your Thoughts.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. That's a book of motivational thoughts that I thought I wanted to put out there because I've always been posting motivational stuff on my WhatsApp status, and one of my sisters says, "Why not put out a book of motivational thoughts? People are into that." And
Yes.
that's what I did.
Wow, this is so beautiful. So it's out there in the world and we can read it from you. Okay, my first question is, what inspires you?
Life. Yeah, life. I love life. I love to be alive. I love to wake up in the mornings and just know that. I tell people at all times the fact that we wake up, it means that God is not finished with us yet.
Yes, so
So,
true.
right. So it does not matter what is happening. As long as we're alive, it will pass.
Yes. Wow, I love that. I absolutely saw you jumping out of bed, totally inspired every morning and go to work, like creation, creative work. I see you like that.
Yeah, and I'm always when I wake up in the mornings, I'm always asking myself, how can I be an inspiration to somebody today?
Mm,
And I
mm.
ask God, whenever I get the opportunity, please give me the insight to be an inspiration, a positive inspiration to others.
Wow. And who inspired you?
Well, you see, I would have to say it all comes from God, because as a Christian, I cannot say anybody else. He's the one who gives me the inspiration that I need to inspire others.
Absolutely, yes. The same for me. I received this podcast and the name inspired as well. I saw you have it in your what is the link? You gave me a link. Craig inspires, and this is
Right.
really amazing.
Yes, I started a YouTube channel, and I use that as my handle because persons just take me. I did not know that I had that type of impact.
Mm.
It was one day I was not posting as much because I was going through something in my life, and one of my followers actually reached out to me via WhatsApp and asking me what was going on. I've been such an inspiration. Always that I'm not putting anything up, and I said, that's something to think about. And so I started using that handle, and I started using that tag. Craig inspires.
This is so amazing. I will check it out, and please, people, check it out. I put the link in the show notes. Everyone can click on that and subscribe, of course, to your channel. I'm very curious now. And how do you inspire others?
By all right, you reached out to me to get me on the podcast, and this
Yes.
is the ways that I inspire others. I hope that in speaking with me, something that I say can resonate to somebody, and they become inspired. Persons, as I say, might be feeling down, might be feeling hopeless, might be going through something, and they speak to me, and I, to be honest with you, I don't know where the words come from. I must say again, it must come from God. And after speaking with them, I see the change. I see the change. And I'm always smiling. I don't make anything trouble me at all.
Mm. And what is the change you see in the others?
the persons, if they weren't smiling, they start to smile after a while, and then they realize that, as much as I'm going through this, the fact that I'm alive talking about it, it means that it will pass, as I said before. Because I always tell persons, we all go through stuff. It's
Mhm.
life.
Mhm.
Life is a journey, and there are no mistakes in life. They are just lessons. So whatever we go through, take it as a lesson, and find out how we can learn and move forward. And when I tell them that, they normally stop and think. I think I read a story once about, I don't remember if it was a gentleman who was going through something, and it got to him so much that he decided that he was going to end his life. So he climbed up a tree. All he had was a ripe banana to eat. And so he peeled the banana and got ready to eat the banana. And he threw the skin on the ground. Now, what he did not know, that there was somebody actually on the ground beneath the tree. And when he threw the banana peeling on the ground, that person picked up the banana peeling and started eating that. What does that tell you? There was somebody who was worse off than him. And when I tell persons this, they realize that, what I'm going through is nothing then. It will pass. And when they realize, they start to think, and they get perky, and they just start to move forward, man. It's amazing how you can touch someone's life by, just being genuine.
Yes, absolutely. By being yourself. I see this. I see you also as authentic. Yes, of course. You speak from your heart, and
I
this is
do.
very, very
I do.
nice,
Because
amazing.
you see, I want persons to understand. You see, guys, listeners, Caroline did not give me any questions before the podcast. A lot of times persons think that that's what happens. No, I'm
No.
speaking from my heart. She asked me the question, and I'm just speaking. So I'm very genuine, and I'm glad for that.
I love that, and I think life should be that way because if we all know in advance, then it's boring. Life is
Yeah,
boring.
yeah, it is. And I mean, even when I get asked to speak, because I'm also a speaker as well, and I get asked to speak at different functions. Um, there are times all I ask for is, do you have a topic? And if they give me a topic, that's all I need.
Mhm.
Um, Most times, what I do though is just speak from the heart. I don't ask them for a topic. I just go and just work with the flow, and I just watch the audience, read the audience, and then I just speak from my heart. But that's what I do most times.
Wow, this is definitely a gift you have. And what other gifts and talents do you have?
I'm also a singer and a songwriter as well. I recently released my first single called "Ja Love Is Real." I'm available on all digital musical digital platforms. It's also on YouTube as well. So that's another gift that I have as well, and I give God thanks every day.
Oh, wow, I love that. And what are your goals for 2024?
My goals for 2024 is to see how many more persons I can impact for this.
Mm.
I want to see how I can spread positivity in the world, not just in Jamaica, but in the world. To speaking to as much persons as possible, and also to release my latest book that I'm currently working on, which is a memoir entitled Everyone Deserves Love. I've been working on it for a while. I've decided not to rush it, but my biggest goal for this year is to finally release it.
Oh, I love that. I love that project and also that you take your time to create it and not to rush, as you said. Wow.
If you rush, you see, if you rush, you'll write stupidness, as
Mm.
you say. You might not get the impact and the reach that you want. So you have to take your time. As much as, because a lot of persons think that writing is hard.
Mm.
Writing is very, very easy, but you have to take the time to ensure that what you're writing will resonate to someone. If it
Yeah.
only if it only resonates with you, it makes no sense you put it out there.
Mm. Okay, that's fine. I understand. It has to be from your soul as well.
It has to be from your soul. And once it's from your soul, persons will relate to it. I've seen it happen in the stuff that I write, and as I say, even the quotes. I've seen it
Mhm.
happen. As I said, when I do it, I don't do it expecting the sort of impact that I get. But when I see what it does, I realize that, yeah, because I've taken my time to actually write it,
Mhm.
persons get the message.
Yes. It's like a piece of art.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm. It is. I love that. And when you tell me you speak to people and maybe not only on social media, where do you contact people?
Um, Mostly social media, mostly
Mm.
social media. But in my job as a firefighter, I'm also a fire safety inspector. So I usually get to go to schools and business places to speak to persons, and it's during these interactions that persons, when they're having functions like graduation ceremonies, their dinners and stuff like that, they would ask me to come and be a guest speaker. That's
Yeah.
probably where it comes from.
Wow, I love that. So you get invitations?
Yes, I do. I do.
Mm.
I haven't gotten as much since COVID though.
Mhm.
Because COVID locked us in our box.
Yes.
Persons are not used to the virtual space. But before COVID, I used to get a lot of engagements. I've started getting some one and two of them now again, but not
Mhm.
as much as before.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I asked you already, what are your plans for the future? And now, when people reach out to you after listening to this podcast episode, what do you have a special offer or what can they help you with?
I don't have a special offer, but you see, if they can help me to reach out to the world to
Mm.
spread my positive message, I'm happy. I'm happy. I would be very, very happy to reach out. Currently, I don't have a offer, but what I can do is persons can reach out to me, and if they do want a free copy of one of my books, I can see what I can do. It begins in the mind. Empower your
Yeah.
thought. That ebook. It's an ebook, but the two anthologies, they are available as both ebooks and paperbacks. And I mean, persons have reached out to me, and even though it's something that you put out in the space that you want, that you're selling, I do
Mm.
give copies. I do. So if persons want a copy, I mean, they can reach out to me. I have no problem doing that, man. As long as my message gets out there, and as long as it resonates with someone, and they can relate to what is being written, to God be the glory.
Wow, I love that. And did you have mentors or coaches?
Uh no, no. I what I have done is I listen to like I read a lot of books. I
Mhm.
read a lot of books like Three Feet from Gold. I've read Robert Kiyosaki, John Maxwell. These are the persons who I say they are my mentors, not knowing that they are my mentors, because I read so many of their books. And because of what I read, I've learned a lot. I've learned how to become a leader, even in my workspace. I've learned how to become a leader because of reading John Maxwell books and other
Mhm.
leadership books as well. It allows me to be the sort of supervisor that I am at my workplace right now.
Wow, I love that. And thank you for sharing that story as well about becoming a leader, stepping into that personality. And I want to read the quote you sent to me from Zig Ziglar, it was.
Right.
Um, where was it? I think you know it better. You said once you said your statement is there are no mistakes in life, only lessons.
That's
You
mine.
already
That's
mentioned it.
yeah,
And
that
then you quoted Zig Ziglar to get what you want, help enough other people get what they want
that
first.
that's how I live my life.
I love that.
So if I know that I can help someone achieve something, I'll do it in whatever way I can. If it means I have to make some form of contact for the person because I'm able to do it, that's what I do. I mean, I don't have the finances,
Mhm.
but if I did, I would help as much person as I can.
Yes, I
If I
can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm impressed now. And please reach out to Greg. He's amazing. We learned this and re listened to this episode because there was so many nuggets in it. Yes. Do you have a last message for the audience?
Well, yes. I would like to tell the audience, listen, um, just be authentic every
Mm.
time you get the chance to be authentic. Be yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Even if you think being yourself you might not be accepted, it simply means that anybody who does not accept you for who you are, they are not supposed to be in your life.
Mm.
But for a reason. Be you.
Oh, thank you so much because God created us that way and we do not have to change it, you know. We don't have to question his creation, I should say.
Exactly.
Mm.
We are all unique for a reason.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. And this was our podcast episode.
Thank you for having me. A pleasure.
Woo.
It was a pleasure.
The pleasure was mine. And see you in the next episode.